Okay, looks like we've got a decent number of people here now. So morning all, welcome to Change Webinar number 10. So today we've combined two incoming change requests. So we've got change request number 58 that Phil is going to take us through, and then change request 59 that Ricardo will take us through in a bit. So just as a bit of a reminder of the process, we will do this as a broadcast. So I'd just remind everyone to keep their mics off, and any questions, please share them in the Slido that I think Hannah will share now in the chat. Thank you, Hannah. And what I'd ask is, as we are covering two change requests today, can I ask that people tag the change request that their questions related to? So if it's for 58, tag it as 58, 59, tag it as 59. So, as I said, we'll look through 58 first. So this is Phil showing us the change request to add the DIP manager as an industry representative to advisory groups. So Phil, if you're okay to take us through that.
Yes, morning everybody. So CR58, so this is adding the DIP manager as an industry representative to the advisory groups. So now that the DIP arrangements have gone live as of the start of October, there will be updates and decisions that need to be brought to the advisory groups by the DIP manager, and therefore they require a permanent seat across all groups. So we get the description of the change, the DIP manager to be added as industry rep to CCAG, MCAG, CITAG and QAG. The change won't impact the design or code of MHHS. It is merely a change to the governance, and it is necessary to inform the program of any DIP updates and decisions ahead of M10, and therefore it does not impact the change freeze criteria. One thing to note is that the Helix role at PSG will be extended with one representative to cover both Helix and the DIP manager role. And the target date is for the DIP manager to be added to advisory groups as soon as possible. And upon completion of the impact assessment, I think a recommendation will be made by the change board to approve or reject the proposed change.
Thanks, Phil. And yeah, as Phil said, so we will have the FAQ window open until the close of day today, after which we'll send out the impact assessment for 10 working days. That will then close at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, the 13th of November, after which the recommendation will be made to change board whether to approve or reject this. So we'll go over to the Q&A. Hannah, if there's been any questions that have come through yet into the Slido?
Not yet.
I'll give it a couple of minutes. I appreciate this one is a housekeeping change, so this is a fairly simple change, but we have taken it through the change request process just as it is following the due course. If we're okay, and as I said, please, if you've got any questions to think of during the duration of the rest of this webinar, add them and tag them as 58. So I think with that in mind, we can move on to change request 59. So Ricardo, I think I've seen that you have been able to join.
Yes. Thanks,
Okay.
Will. Good morning, everyone. So there is a requirement, there is in the MHHS design for MDS to produce a report with EMRS specific data. And currently within the interface specification, there isn't any particular indication on the file format or the distribution pattern. And really there is an agreement that must be reached between Elexon, Helix and EMRS. So this CR is to formalize the decision to actually fulfill the requirement extending the usage of the sorry, the D0357 that it's already in use between HHDAs and EMRS. The content is actually the same between the items we have on the MHHS interface specification and the current content of the D0357, except for an item that is the actual estimate indicator. But this is like a mapping, and in the ECS reports we have the SPQI. So we've been in touch and we've been in conversation with the MRS. So there is going to be a mapping that will be implemented within Helix. So in the end, we'll just produce another version of the will produce the current the D0357 as is, but we understand that we need to introduce a new variant that currently, because currently we do not have any files sent from SVAI to EMRS. So in summary, as I mentioned, the CI is to formalize the decision reached between Elexon and EMRS, so to proceed adopting this kind of approach.
Thanks for that, Ricardo. So as with CR58, the same process will be followed. So we'll send out the impact assessment after the Q&A window closes this evening. You will have 10 working days to submit your responses, and then the impact assessment window will close at 5 p.m. on Wednesday the 13th. So we will move over to the questions. So Hannah, again, if there's been any questions through on either 59 or 58.
We don't actually have any at the moment.
Okay, perfect. So we can wait for a few minutes, but as I said, that questions portal will be open until the end of the day. So you have an opportunity to raise any questions up until that time. If there are no further questions, then I think I can call this a day then. So thank you everyone for supporting. And then, as I said, if any questions come up in the meantime, do submit them to the Slido. Thank you everyone, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.